Hello everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Týrstorm Biker Squadron from OnTableTop for those who fancy a Space Dwarf force with a retro feel. Okay, our Roknauts Space Dwarf Týrstorm Biker Squad. A set of delightful sci-fi Space Dwarves. Space Dwarf bikes. The Týrstorm Squadrons are a staple of Roknauts task forces, fulfilling a number of roles from the core battle line to recon. This set lets you build 3 Roknaut Týrstorm bikers, each composed of 6 vacuum cast resins. Blah blah blah, scenery bases, blah blah blah. Big red box of fun. And in our big red box there is... Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, assembly instructions on a card. 1, 2, 3, 4 bags, 3 resin and 3 bases. Oh, he said that. Riders. Nothing else in the little red nest. No. Put that out for a little red squirrel to nest in later. So, presumably all 3 are identical, so we'll open one up. And we'll grab our riders as well. The bikes then. Ooh, simple construction. Front and back. With the world's chunkiest tyres since Judge Dredd tore around Megacity 1. Look at those. Chunky sprue gate there that will need to be cleaned to allow you to accurately fit those together. Resin is... Oh, Týrstorm, it says on the bottom. That's nice. Resin is relatively cleanly cast. Bit of a seam/mold line with the gates there on the front. That's borderline slippage on that tyre. Let's have a quick look at another tyre. Let's see if this is an ongoing trait. No, this one's much cleaner. Okay. So I've got one that's had a bit of slip. However, I can fix that before I have files and time on my hands. Perfect on this side. So just one spoke has a slight bit of slippage, but these things are sent to try with resin. Otherwise, nicely produced. Our bolters, bit of flashing on them, bit of cleanup needing done there. And we have our little back banner as well. That sits into there, I assume. I say I assume. I have build instructions. Yes, it does. Flag on the back. Guns on the side. Man in the middle. And when we have those, we are looking at what appears to be a champion and then 2 regular guys, all with feet on the brakes. And they just nestle in there. Flat back sculpted. Hands fit in. Off they tot. Yeah, so I just need to clean up this so I can get a good join on it. Let's get them all cleaned and we'll take a look at them in their bikery goodness. Okay, our Týrstorm Bike Squadron is built. Couple of things to look out for if you pick these up yourself. So, first off, the sprue gate between the 2 bike sections here that needed to be trimmed back. When you are trimming it, it behooves you to do it in a arced fashion. Let's show you the exploded diagram. So the sprue gate is on the front of the back portion of the thing, probably where the petrol tank would be and where the seat is, and comes forward. Now, you don't want to cut straight down because the front mud guard is this swooping curve. So what you'll actually need to do is cut that in an arc, possibly use a circular file or semicircular file to keep that shape so that they nestle tightly together. And then the other thing is the guns. So the guns, and you'll see on these, guns do not match up. The guns you're having to eyeball because they have a peg. There's no peg hole to receive it, and they were slightly different sizes. The way those parts are cast, they've probably got the most unique silhouette, and therefore flash was a bit annoying in places, but also the peg wasn't always the same length. I think what you want to do with these, and what I will do after the fact, is to go in, drill a hole straight through the mudguard, put a pin in there, so I know they are the same height, because there's nothing to register the height of the bolters that I can see without just eyeballing it. So to make sure they're both the same height, I'd have a pin running all the way through the mudguard, and then I'd possibly cut those pegs off altogether and replace them with something that I knew is the same size. So maybe a bit of styrene rod, that sort of thing. So those are one. And then the other thing is, you can see the front of the tire here is relatively clean, because I carved off those sprue gates and I cut the treads back into it. But if I grab one of the ones, I haven't done that sort of work too. The sprue gates are just visible because the bike sits like this. If those sprue gates had been directly below, it wouldn't be an issue at all. As it is, you will see the slight deformation of the tread pattern there. Now, when it's based and you've got material up around it, ballast, whatever, or flock, you're not really going to notice it. When it's on the gaming table, you're definitely not going to notice it. But if that's the sort of thing that that you want to make sure is all totally cleaned up, do it before you start basing. So yes, there's that. Overall, nice casts. Those couple of issues aside, which aren't major things, did notice there was slight miscasts on the gloves. So the gloves are part of the handlebars, and so on this one they are intact, but on t'other they're a bit ragged, so I will need to go in and fill those. But as far as a set of 3 Space Dwarf bikes go, they are a beautiful set of figures, real nice old school aesthetic. The bikes themselves are approximately 60 millimeters long from wheel to wheel, and height wise off the base they are roughly 30 mil to the top of his helmet and about 25 mil to eye level. So nice chunky solid bike, very Judge Dredd-esque, with tires so thick you are never turning. But as a little triptych, they're absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that they do come in a 3 just fills me with a warm fuzzy glow, because they have that really nice aesthetic of being an old school bike squad. The only real question is, will they sit on a 25 by 50 mil base? I think they will, because rectangular old school bases are the best way to put bikes on the tabletop. But yeah, really nice set of figures, nice level of detail, and a modicum of cleanup and fixing that is required, with the optional banners on the back. Although if you've got a banner for a bike, you put the banner on the bike. That's how that goes. And they glue onto a little pip at the back, so they're very solid and very easily located. That sort of pip thing would have been great on the guns, but I think it would have added a bit more extraneous problems for casting. But there we have it, the Týrstorm Biker Squadron, a trio of Space Dwarf roving death coming for all your opponents. There we have it, folks, a 3 dwarf bike squadron It reminds me of my youth so much. A really beautiful presented little boutique set there, and the care and attention that's gone into it, from the box design and even the box colour down to the image on the front, that classic goblin green base with that blue-white fade in the background. It's just so evocative of when I started collecting, sort of late 80s, early 90s. And one of the most iconic periods that Games Workshop went through for 40k. These are real nice retro feel. So many people getting into Oldhammer these days. And if you want to play modern games with them, perfect for one-page rules, Grimdark Future, or if you fancy playing Dead Zone or Firefight, they're nailed on for that as well, to give your Forge Fathers a bit of a distinctive look. But let me know what you think below, folks. Until next time, bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.